But can you talk about each of the freshmen and what you hope they're going to bring to you guys?
Yeah, obviously Tiger's out, and that was a big blow because he was doing so well. And we got to do a lot of work now with pass catch stuff because he was a catalyst with that pass catch stuff. And being though a freshman, kind of a quarterback, he understood how to play. And so big blow there with Tiger. Kenny's doing a lot of good things inside for us. Good athlete, strong, physical, plays really hard. Moses, obviously, at 7'2", presents a lot of good problems. Being 7'2" in length, really runs the floor well, and for a guy that big, how he handles the ball and those type of things inside has been very impressive. He gives us a shot blocker, which, to be honest, we really haven't had since we've been here. We haven't had an elite shot blocker, and I think he is that, and I think Jay Hill has a chance to be that as well. Other freshmen from David Singleton really knows how to play, and I think that's the thing we've seen most out of him. Perfectionist, almost sometimes to fault. He needs to kind of probably relax a little bit on that, but big time shooter. Good position defender, hard-nosed, physical guard. I like both of our guards because they're really physical. He and Jules, one's a righty, one's a lefty, but they present some of the same issues of they give a good physical presence. Jules a much better driver. David probably the shooter right now, and so David's drive game's got to improve, and Jules' spot shot game's got to improve. But been very, very impressed with what these freshmen have done since June.
Is there a good synergy amongst them? Are they a group that likes playing and being together?
Yeah, like they don't understand Pauley yet. They're still trying to figure out how to come in and out of Pauley, which that's all part of October, I guess, but because we haven't been in here much. But yeah, they've been outstanding. We've had a team retreat. They were great. It's been a really good group. I like where our chemistry is, and there's a lot to be said for that too, Ben, just because we've had a lot thrown at us in 2 weeks with injuries. Just, you know, even some tragic, you know, type of injuries as far as seasons go. So I like how the guys have just bonded and held, whether it's been Sharif, whether it's been Tiger, they've been very, very supportive of them, and they've moved on. It hasn't been, you know, that woe is me mindset as much as it is, hey, next guy up and let's get better.
How much are those guys going to be around the team, the guys who are out?
A lot. You know, obviously we don't know timetables yet on either one. Medically, we don't know that yet. We're still waiting to hear a word on that. But as much as they can be now, obviously, if there's an academic situation, then they'll stay home for that. But as much as we can have them around, and we don't have much travel. Go to Vegas, and before the quarter, it's really just Vegas. After the quarter's over, then we go to Cincinnati. So they're going to be here and be a part of the team. They've been at every practice, so they're doing everything that the guys are doing that they can as far as being there. They're just not physically doing it.
How much does that change your schedule over the next couple of weeks compared to last year when you had to go to China?
Yeah, well, we've already tiered down over the last 10 days. It was more just kind of getting that injury karma out of the building. So we went about 3 days of non-contact, a lot of skill work, a lot of fundamental work, a lot of dry run stuff, which is fine. You know, I was talking to Coach Donovan today because the Thunder are in practicing, and you know, I was talking to him about, you know, it's different than when we played, Billy. It's different than even when you were at Florida and I was in New Mexico, in that the start date's so early. It's 6 weeks is crazy early, in my opinion. So this is the first time we've ever practiced in September. So trying to adjust to that and learn that and what we can, we're way ahead. We're five practices ahead of last year at this time, you know, just because of starting so early. And we started, I think we were allowed to start on a Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and we didn't start till Friday. You know, so we're taking more days off, or even if we bring them in, and it's kind of catch-22 because they're so young. And so we got to get in front of them. They've got to learn, but we do have to watch it a little bit. So we go through periods of kind of like hard, dry run, clinic type, a lot of teaching, day off, hard practice, clinic, day off. And that's kind of be our routine, I think. Obviously, we got two games coming up over the next couple of weekends before we get to November that are going to be key for us, because young players need to play somebody else. You can tell they're already tired of going against each other.
When you have such a young team, do you expect to take some lumps early in the season and progressively get better?
Well, I hope not, but that can always be a part of it. But I hope that we're taking some of those lumps in practice. This team's been very physical. I think that's the thing that we've been very pleased with from a coaching standpoint, that through mid-October it's been a very physical team. So I think we're going to have that kind of presence. We're shooting the ball pretty decent. I want to take care of the ball better offensively, defensively. We're coming around. It's a long, athletic group. Our board play is not anywhere near where I want it right now, so that's kind of a work in progress, and we've got to keep working on that. But the physicality we've liked, so it's about getting off to a good start, and we've still got 3 weeks. We're right at about 3 weeks before our opener, and we just got to have a good 3 weeks of trying to get healthy, trying to get guys back into the fold where they're getting a lot of reps, and get some of these guys some subs.
Have you seen Jalen progress from last year to right now?
He's been tremendous to this point. I showed him that last year. His stats, 15 practices in last year versus this year, as far as handling the basketball, assist to turnover, and that, as a point guard, that's really a big barometer of what you look at. And he's nearly almost 3.5 to 1 this year, where last year he was almost not 1 to 1, but about 1.5 to 1. So his ability to distribute, his ability to be a guy that can facilitate as well as score, because we want him scoring because he's a very good scorer. But I think the other end is where we've really focused with him, and that's defensively. He never engaged himself defensively last year, and we're seeing that now this year. He's being much more physical, taking more pride at that end, and that's really his development and him going to that next level like he wants to get to. He's got to prove that at the defensive end he can withstand that kind of physicality, and so far through 2.5, 3 weeks he's been very good.
How have Singleton and Chris Smith looked handling the ball since Tiger went down?
Really good. We've been working Chris there a lot. David not as much. We might start looking at him a little bit, but Chris more natural, because Chris did some in high school and Chris has been with us for a year. So he knows our offense a little bit better right now, just because of the familiarity with a year being here. And Chris has done a really good job. The unfortunate thing now with just guys out is that he's been able to get some reps at point, but I need to get him off the ball as well, because Chris is one of those guys I can play him in about 4 different positions. And right now, the last week, because of Tiger, is just getting him some of those reps at the point, which is fine. It's been great for him, and he's done a very good job. But now we got to, as we move forward here, I got to get him off the ball some too, because we'll play him there as well.
What's your overall outlook on the team? I think you have 7 returners back, and you're not as young. You don't have as many new guys coming in as you did last year.
Yeah, we don't have as many. Almost. Well, actually, it's more, because Jay Hill and Cody Riley didn't play last year. So everybody likes to talk about that recruiting class, which there's a lot of truth to that, but we didn't get that recruiting class last year. Three of those, 5 guys? What do we have?
That's true.
6 guys.
6 guys. So we had 6 guys last year. 3 of them didn't play. So now those 3 go into this, or 2 of those guys go into this class. So it's our tallest team we've ever had. Maybe not now that we've had injuries, but at least start the season. But it's also one of my least experienced teams. We got 8 guys that have played a second of college basketball. So that's what we've got to really, as we look at this thing, as far as us being patient as coaches, that an exhibition game, it's the first time 8 of them have even done that. So it's something that we just got to continue to work with them on a daily basis, getting as much experience as we can here early in the season.
Coach, what are you expecting from Chris Wilkes this year?
Well, I think he's one of the best guards in the country, so that's what we expect. Go out and do those things. He had a great freshman year. The feedback he got from the next level was get stronger, gain weight. He's done both of that. He's playing about 210 to 215, and last year he was 200, almost a little bit under 200, so he's gained weight and strength. And now prove yourself defensively, and I think those are the things. 2 of those things he's kind of already done. Now he's got to prove it defensively, and really be a prolific scorer for us. He's got a chance to be a big-time scorer for us.
You lose guys like Aaron and Tom. Who have you seen step up into those kind of leadership roles on such a young team?
Well, we need Chris and Jalen, because we don't have a lot of age. Alex was going to be somebody, and now he's out for a little bit with his injury. He's been great on the sideline, because Alex knows our system very well. And then Prince, we need Prince's leadership, because he's been here for nearly 4 years now. So both Prince and Alex need to do that, and then I think the other natural two is Chris and Jalen.